left. It is ReMinD.
And the top right in the yellow. Has he learned from his mistakes? Is it a FoCuS?
Alright, we'll have to wait and see if we have the Talons again. I'd be very surprised for ReMinD to do anything else here. He seemed very successful. I think there was a couple of mistakes that FoCuS could clean up from the last series, particularly where he was fighting, when he was fighting. But we'll see. I'd be surprised to not see Demon Hunter from ReMinD.
Yeah, I would also say 90+% Demon Hunter first. I could see him like fitting in a cheeky little bear play here as well. I mean, it's probably the least reliable of the Night Elf strategies, but he has shown it impressively before, and you can try to, you know, lay out a little bit of a feint for your opponent. If you start off with a Demon Hunter, you're certainly going to be expecting those talents, and Demon it is indeed. On this map nowadays, almost all Night Elves will go for this, with the exception of Moon, maybe. But yeah, Demon Hunter versus Blade. We've seen from Lin, for example, in the past, going for an early shop and try to get some items, heal selves, pressure the demon. And this is the first adjustment. With a Peon Scout again, but an early shop so that the Demon Hunter can get pressured right away and the Blade can keep that pressure on with grunts and salves.
Yeah, the Peon Scout's very interesting too, because if he was up against the Keeper, he could scout if it was 2 Moonwells or Hunter's Hall before second Moonwell, and then he could do the double circlet play where he runs across and goes for that second well cancel. I'm wondering what his reaction will be when he sees the Demon Hunter. This is probably what he was expecting, so he's going to be happy to pressure with that shop, but maybe he'll creep just his item, I'm wondering. He's probably going to go to his green camp with that shop timing.
Yeah, I would also imagine try to pick up the first claws, go into the middle, of course get some heal salves, and then go for the circlet and start trading. Demon Hunter first, not the norm necessarily anymore in this matchup, and also against Undead and Human. But something that I think is always something that's worth remembering is the Demon Hunter is a great item carrier, especially from these rather small size early camps. Even the ring, and also circlet claws and gloves, everything is really good on the Demon Hunter. He's a stats monster. He scales amazingly with bonus stats, and is going to try to be the carry and anchor in the late game for ReMinD.
Wow, that speed scroll timing might actually work out. He's going to get the last hit. That is ridiculous from FoCuS. The blind speed scroll, he had the Peon to confirm it, and he gets the illusions and the last hit. That's super sick, that timing.
Demon Hunter experience very low. Did he deny something here?
Oh my god. Oh, he didn't finish either Trapper. I was wondering about that too, but it's of course very important to stop the demon from being level 3, which is something FoCuS was less successful with. You remember that shop that ReMinD got the first time they played here. He got the Potion of Invulnerability, so FoCuS doing a much better job at denying that creeping early.
Yeah, and I think it's crucially important on this map. Once you have 2, maybe 3 grunts, you can really put the screws on the Demon Hunter. Try to force him to stay low level, take a fight early with Spirit Link and Heal Scroll, and try to get ahead before the big Talon Master training is out. That being said, even earlier in the win here by ReMinD on Last Refuge, he wasn't level 3 too soon. But as I mentioned a few times, I think FoCuS should have been a bit more aggressive. Anyways, now level 2 on the Blade Master. We do see Wand of Illusions again, which is insanely strong on this map, if not even, you know, a little bit too strong.
Yeah, very, very nicely done there. Making sure the Ancient War can't be in the perfect position at Tier 2. It'll eventually make its way over there. I doubt ReMinD will lose that to just 1 illusion, but it'll be very annoying, and I imagine FoCuS will even use an illusion to creep his own Merc camp. Yeah, he's pulling it right now. That is super sick. He's going to be level 3 Blade, very close at least, with a super nice item here.
That's something that was also severely lacking, was the Berserkers. Here we see it, Berserker good right now for creeping. And also in the late game, throw in 2 Berserkers, maybe even 3 if you're going super big army. And then that bonus damage against Talent or also Pocket Factory, very, very valuable. In their earlier encounter here, FoCuS just simply didn't seem to be ready for the late game. This gives some space for the Demon as well, who can just continue to creep now if he wants. But there's a big camp for FoCuS. And I'm kind of surprised ReMinD wasn't looking for it more. Like, every time an Orc finds Wand of Illusion on this map, they love to do this creep camp.
Yeah, very early with the 2 grunts. You can even do it with 1 grunt and just pick up the Priest if you wanted to. And, you know, previously FoCuS only went for 2 grunts anyway. So he's got the gold for the Berserker, and I think that's a great point that I actually missed, that he didn't get Berserkers the first time they played, which is going to be, it's so good against Talons, especially that early Tier 2 40 supply when the first Raider is out pressuring. The Berserker adds so much to your army.
And the thing is, by that time, Orb of Venom isn't out yet, so the Demon Hunter's damage output is really reduced, and you can normally keep that thing very well alive, especially if you have Spirit Link. Rune Bracers, of course, gonna be sold. You know, FoCuS in the scene, sometimes called Lady Luck himself, or that he has a pact with the devil, with how good his items are. Not necessarily so much the case so far this tournament.
Oh,
look at the block. This is important. He's trying to cancel the building, of course, but perfect unit positioning here by FoCuS.
Yeah, very nicely done. Luckily, the Berserker got to the back. You wouldn't want to give that up. That's a ton of experience, but the Grunt's both getting low. This Demon Hunter is really packing a punch with those claws of attack. He's trying to get into the back of the base. He's prioritizing getting the Bestiary. I'm wondering if he can. A second Quill Beast probably soon to come in, and that Bestiary, not long for this world, I think.
Blade Master very fast with that level 2 Windwalk. TC comes in. Shockwave first, looking for that kill. Where's the staff? ReMinD! That's the big mistake. That cannot happen. Oh, was it a lag?
No.
Oh, no. Pauses the game. Ooh.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
That would be the most unfortunate time. Not saying anything at the moment, but it could have very well been... Oh, it might be hotkeys. Something's not working.
Maybe an item hotkey. He went to go for the staff with something, and he didn't quite have it. That's level 2 Demon Hunter at a timing where you're kind of vulnerable and want to be creeping that level 3.
Yeah. That Demon Hunter in this matchup is so important. It is the centerpiece, the anchor of the army. It's going to be the make it or break it for you to win the game. And losing that hero is all wind out of the sails for ReMinD, and FoCuS now with a huge lead.
Yeah, he's just going to dominate the map with this blade. He's got plenty of mana, and there's no mana burns for another 45 seconds. The Tauren Chieftain happily creeping away, and he can maybe even creep level 3 and then go for that timing with a couple of walkers even, and probably he could just push and win. The heroes are going to be so underleveled for ReMinD. This is a very difficult position.
I would have loved for FoCuS to send the TC into the middle, creep the enemy merchant, and then fall back into his own merchant. He's maybe leaving something on the table right now, but alright, he's playing it safe. He's gonna get TC2. Doesn't have the aura yet, having gone for Shockwave first, but this blade is very active. And losing the Ancient of War here would be painful. That doesn't just mean that creeping the lab would be harder or impossible, it also is gonna affect the Merc Camp creep.
Yeah. And even maybe the shop in the future, too. The blade is lurking around. I think he has one more Windwalk, but that could be dealt with by the mana burn of the Demon Hunter that's finally back. He comes back, dusts the blade. I'm pretty sure it landed, despite the high ground. So he should be able to get this creeping done. This is a crucial camp for ReMinD to get. He needs to get all this experience.
TC is coming around. Not much longer until the big milk cow arrives with the rest of the army. Raiders ready for the first end snare. Remember, he has the damage from the Berserker. He's going to take out the Ancient of War and try to steal the item, and he should be successful in doing so. And this, of course, is the weakness of the Talon strategy. Before you have Master Training, the map control fully belongs to the Orc, and FoCuS this time compared to last time, really making good use of it.
Absolutely, yeah. Last time, if memory serves, he went for the shop and got a little bit caught off, and he did eventually get the shop, but he kind of took a lot of damage and wasn't able to pressure as much. This time, he's probably going to get the shop and the lab, and he could even win the fight during the creep jack. I wouldn't be surprised. Master Training, about 30 seconds off. War Mill even, very early for FoCuS. That's interesting. And the last hit, did he get the enemy? Don't think he got the experience. Got the greater heal, though. They did get the experience.
Greater heal for the Orc. Perhaps not too useful. If your heroes are close to dying, normally you've lost anyways. But is he gonna sell it? Probably not. Yeah, he's gonna go over to his shop now. He's gonna get it as well, right? Getting both shops and the enemy lab. That is outrageous.
Yes.
What a different story this game has been. It started off with a last hit on the Shadow Priest, which was nice. Then followed up with a Merc Camp. That was the next nice move. And then the big error, of course, was losing the Demon Hunter. ReMinD so far behind. However, Talons are a pretty good comeback unit. Once you get to 50 supply, you get the level 3, you get the orbs, you get the triple hero. Miracles can happen.
Yes.
But it's certainly not the best situation to, play out of.
Yeah, there's always an opportunity, especially on Last Refuge. That's why Talons are so good. FoCuS maybe fights into a choke point like he did. Maybe the Pocket Factory's in a good positioning. Maybe he gets mana burnt early, doesn't get a lot of shockwaves off. So there's always opportunity, like you say, for their comeback to be possible. Level 3 Demon Hunter is going to be essential, though. And where do you creep? Where do you go? Do you go to the red camp? You try to get to your expansion? FoCuS has just been dominating the map the entire game so far.
3 levels now ahead with 4-3 against 2-2. That is crazy. We found a really good item here, ReMinD, with the Lionhorn of Stormwind that immensely increases the damage reduction on the Talons. And FoCuS, is he going to be looking for that fight? Oftentimes we will see the Orcs hoard those heal scrolls, get the 5th burrow up, build 6 supply army, and then go for the push. with a 10 supply lead, with hopefully better heroes, which is certainly the case here. But at least the Demon Hunter did get that level 3 finally, does have decent items, and does now have a Tinker.
Yeah, FoCuS buying time for the expansion of the tower that are coming up, even getting pillage. Twitch shall be happy about that one, so he's going to get some gold return when he goes for this hit and run. And I think hit and run might be necessary because Tinker is out. This is 50 supply against 50 supply, and this is a tier 3 army and tri-hero against a tier 2 army of FoCuS. So on paper, ReMinD should be able to win this fight for the meantime.
Not swinging bottom right. He could have caught the Tinker there, perhaps. Only level 1 hero though, of course. FoCuS earlier in the late game on this map, in their first encounter, was playing pretty reactively, wasn't trying to take the initiative too much with base attack. Seems like he's trying to defend his expansion while making use of the tower that he placed here. And maybe go for some more mercs.
TC full mana, and the first mana burn lands on the Blade Master, so this could be some money shockwaves. That is what FoCuS needs to hold on to this expansion. The tower reinforced, though, and how do you break that? He's trying to get a cancel, but the positioning, the shockwave did not come off, but it's going to eventually. You can't stop it forever. There it is. Pretty good. A couple towns getting quite low. The Demon Hunter also being focused. Has no real way out unless the TP is swapped or if there's no ensnare on him.
Heal scroll used, trying to fall back. Ensnare's on cooldown at the moment. TC up in the air once again. Disenchant. Man on the walkers are looking good. Big shockwave there. Hits the whole backline. Demon Hunter almost going down. One more Ensnare would do it, but he gets out. Barely. But the rest of the army seems to be just crumbling. The Raiders make it to the What's with Talons in the back, and the heroes just simply aren't strong enough. Tinker isn't level 2. Beastmaster isn't level 3. There's not enough beef, not enough power. And FoCuS seems to be taking this fight. The tower there is still helping him. Tinker falls, level 1 hero, not that bad, I guess. Demon Hunter needs to come back, but he didn't have enough moon juice. He's only half HP, staffing back in now. He's got the heal potion, heal scroll on the other side. TC out of mana, but still useful with that aura, of course. Speaking of which, close to level 4 to upgrade that aura. Speed scroll activated, looking for more kills. FoCuS trying to get his revenge, looking good for him now. ReMinD has to fall back. If the Demon Hunter falls, the game is certainly over. Ensnare number 1, Ensnare number 2, not even needed. Critical strike, or rather backstab it was. GG called 1-0 for FoCuS. He gets his revenge on map 1.
An absolute dominating performance from FoCuS. It all starts from that initial Demon Hunter kill. The pressure, almost an old school approach from ReMinD. As expected, going for those tier 2 cancels. Most of the time we won't even see that. We'll even see more archers so you can creep the map a bit heavier. But going for the bestiary cancel, didn't get the staff off on the Demon Hunter, loses it on level 2, and then just has no map control at all. Here we see that speed scroll. Very sick map control here just from the start of the game. Gets that last hit, and he got pretty much every last hit after this as well.
Yeah, this was such a big deal. This one last hit there, and then this was very unfortunate. As we saw with the pause after, the hotkey didn't work. How different would this game look if the Demon Hunter doesn't die? Very different. That's for sure. FoCuS, perhaps luck is back on his side. Not with RNG item drops, but this time with the opponent's hotkey not working out. Here he just was too far behind. One thing that I noticed there, the cool thing was, as we're gonna get ready for the next game, when he was setting up the expansion, right? When the Talons all attack it, they line up perfectly for the shockwave.
Right.
So I wonder if that was a kind of a bait. He wasn't quite able to get it off because there was a nicely timed cyclone in there as well. But I wonder if that's a special, like, mini tactic that he keeps in mind. Like, all right, if you're gonna line up and try to attack my Great Hall, then that way I'm gonna have the perfect money shockwave. Didn't even rely so much on those. I think like one shockwave landed well, and the others were like whatever, decent. It was just more about that muscle, about that pure power, and the Night Elf heroes being underleveled. I think sometimes people focus too much on the Orc heroes and high-level spells in late game. I think it's really the Night Elf heroes that carry this late game. But anyways, map number 2 is going to be a different map and should also be a very different game.
Yeah, we're probably only going to see the Demon Hunter maybe the one time might be keeper throughout now. I feel like that last Refuge Talon play is the ace in the hole for ReMinD. If he can't make that work, it's going to be difficult, but here we are. Concealed Hill, Game 2 in the upper right. Starting us off, here is FoCuS.
And in the bottom left, looking so hot earlier, now one step away from elimination is ReMinD.
This looks very similar to their last series already. The Talons on game 1, Concealed Hill game 2, same base build from ReMinD, same spawn. Will we have the Farseer again from FoCuS?
I could definitely see it. He's waiting for a second, but no, changing his mind. Going back to the Blade Master. Concealed Hill, a very interesting map for it. I feel like it's oftentimes either amazing or catastrophic, coming down a lot also to the Keeper's leveling progress. If your Peon Scout is on point, if your speed scroll timing, your movement, your telestaff steal, your reads are all there, you can sometimes keep pretty good track of the Keeper and control him and make sure he's not going to overwhelm you on tier 2 with Entangle and all that. But if you miss it, if you misstep just once, things can slip away very quickly, which is certainly a feeling many players and racers know against the Keeper.
Absolutely, yeah. It's such a big map. If you take one misstep, like you say, you're on the opposite side of the map with no paddle to get back. And yeah, I feel like this is a really classical map now at this point for just standard Blade against Keeper. Because right when we had the Keeper patch, it was this map that was played all the time. I feel like we've seen the most epic games for just the pure standard Orc against Elf on Concealed Hill.
Yeah, it will very often go into that 2-base scenario because this is one of the harder maps to expand on. It's not so easy for the Keeper to just fit in one sneaky Tree of Life and you can creep it easily. This will really be a bit tough to deal with, especially if you're low level. All right, I have a technical question here, Carson. I don't know if you know this, but because I've been wondering, when the Peon is close to the creep camp and he pulls the creep aggro, we know that trick from the Acolyte. He does that with Unsummon, right? But how does the Peon do it?
I don't know how you can do it. Do you maybe build something? Because that's what you do, right? You build a Necropolis with the Acolyte or something like that?
When you actually use Unsummon into your own base,
yes,
and that causes the aggro. This is also the first time I've seen it here at this tournament. FoCuS has figured something out just to buy a bit more time, and he's creeping just like the Keeper is here at the beginning. Fast level 2 for the Keeper, Entangle right away, and especially on this map, you really want to make sure there's no APs coming up.
Absolutely, yeah. There's still, just like earlier on Northern Isles, there's 2 sides you need to scout. You need to scout the, oh, nice Archer kill there. That's level 2. That's actually a Circlet as well. But you need to scout the left side by the natural expansion, also where the first orange camp was for FoCuS to see what those APs are. Did he get a Grunt caught out? He may have.
Yes. He's going to use his whole mana pool, maybe. Definitely the second Entangle. I'm not sure about the Treants. I think he needs the Treants as well, right? All right, so how painful is it losing this Grunt if you drain all the mana?
I don't think it's the end of the world because now what you would normally creep, you might go down to the crabs, to the south, or to the north and creep the turtles. But, okay, if he doesn't have to use one more Entangle, all right. That's not actually too bad. Having 100 mana left over, ReMinD could still creep something aggressively on the map if he's allowed to.
Yeah, I thought he might need a bit more. I think also the Grunt movement could have been a bit faster there. He was standing around and not moving back right away. One more Peon goes down as well. That could be relevant later for the Lumber. We have a Scout in the south. That should be a Peon. Looking for an expansion there. Doesn't see an Expo. So that means, all right, next thing I got to check for is these APs. So lots of scouting here by FoCuS. This is the scary early game for Orc. The Keeper can kill anything. He's got crazy vision with Ultra Vision. And the only thing that's safe out on the map is the Blade. Grunts will easily die. So you got to use the Blade to scout, and also the Peons, I guess, which are going to cost some Lumber. But Lumber's looking fine. Peon keeps scouting, and yeah, losing the one Grunt certainly wasn't too fun. But ReMinD at the moment doesn't have that scary mid-game follow-up. At least I can't see it yet.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's going into here. Huntresses, which would indicate he's going to go for an Alchemist. Oh, there's the expansion. I think it just now came up, but FoCuS is definitely in position. He's kind of dotted all his I's and crossed all his T's so far. He's scouted everything with Peons. His macro is clean so far. His Spirit Lodge may be a little bit late. He's going to probably eventually get the cancel on that Expo, and he's denying level 3 on the Keeper.
Yeah, it would be a sick read if he goes down to the Expo there, but he knows the Keeper's close to 3. It's too juicy to not follow him around and prevent that level 3 at the moment. We have the Sentinels as well coming in.
Wow, he's not going down there, actually. I thought he would just buy Staff and go straight down there to clear it again, but maybe he was confident with the Peon. And especially being against a player like ReMinD, you might be expecting lures even. But it's just going to be standard for both players with a seemingly free expansion on the side of ReMinD.
Oh, the Blade with a big opportunity here. If he gets the steal, that would be huge. But there's a Sentinel there, so it definitely shouldn't be possible. But he doesn't actually finish the camp.
A player's forces are under attack.
That's weird. With Entangle and just the right click, shouldn't he have been able to get it? Now he's stuck on level 2?
I think quite easily. The Alchemist, maybe he wanted to get the Alchemist super on time so that he could pressure a bit more. Didn't want to get caught out potentially by the Shadowhunter Hex first if he didn't have his Alchemist ready to go. Maybe that was what he was afraid of, but now he's pretty strong. The expansion, very, very safe. Nature's Blessing already on the way, and now maybe you just pressure to the end of the world and then TP to your Expo and just creep it out cleanly as long as the Blade Master is on the northern side of the map.
We got the Shadowhunter, we got the first Shaman in a moment. Wyvern also pretty standard by now on this map, very good for creeping and excellent for vision above the trees, where behind a tree line the enemy can be lurking. Every point of experience here. Very important. Shadowhunter hasn't chosen a skill point until now. It is Serpent Ward, so that means ReMinD can stick around here quite a bit more freely, as there's no Hex.
Alright, Sentinel sees the Blade. Second Shaman's going to be out soon. There's that Wind Rider that you mentioned. I think that's going to be an excellent addition. Last hit went to, didn't see, was that to the Blade or was it to the Alchemist there? I wasn't entirely sure, but this pressure eventually is going to be thwarted by FoCuS. He's got the wards, he's got the burrow aggressively. He shouldn't lose too much. Oh, that Shaman, that's one purge out, but the important thing is the expansion's safe.
Walking over now. ReMinD, we all know, he loves being aggressive. Sometimes that can be to his detriment when he's a bit too aggressive. Is he going to stick around here until he has to pull the TP? No, he's just going to walk it back, creep with the Alchemist pretty easily while the Keeper keeps the pressure up. But it is level 2 Keeper with only half mana. This is not really scary.
Yeah, and the Blade now going to chase it away, and he'd have to use his whole pool just to get the Blade down to, you know, even half health. Keeper comes back in, but has to be still afraid. The Alchemist, though, he's just trying to buy time because the Alchemist is creeping this. If the Alchemist can creep this entire camp on his own, he's got a green right there, he's got a shop close by he can creep. So Alchemist level 3 can be very, very strong. It looks like we're going to have a... Is he really just going across the map with level 1 Shadow up?
Level 1 Shadow? Couldn't he have just solo crept the Shadow at the Expo and counter-expand it?
I feel like this might be the classic versus undead Shadowhunter second style. You know, you go across the map with Hex thinking you could do something, but then it ends up you're just under-leveled and stuck in a position. He's going to get the shop of ReMinD, but now he's caught out of position. I don't think he can win this fight. Maybe Hero Focus is the play.
Might be able to force the TP here. That is still available. Keeper waiting till the last moment. Shaman taking a lot of damage. One Shaman is going to go down. It looks like FoCuS feels to be far behind, needing to be aggressive. And we talked about that earlier. FoCuS, it seems like has had a couple of wrong reads this tournament.
Yes.
And this seems like another one. He should have been in a pretty good position to just simply counter-expand and play it slow.
He would have had to eventually creep his lab to get Shadow level 3. I think the green in the Expo wouldn't have been enough, but I think he had enough map control also to do that, especially if the Blade, again I say, bought staff, canceled the gold mine, but now he's really got no opportunity to do much. He's not going to be able to counter-expand. Maybe, just maybe he can win a fight, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, the Raider plus Wind Rider combo is very strong to try to take some hunts out one by one. But everything, once again, quite hurt. FoCuS does not have that heal scroll anymore. ReMinD does, and now time is going in the Night Elf's favor as the expansion is about to start mining. The entangling progress about to conclude. FoCuS, this is exactly like the earlier game plan. Like, he could have just simply safely crept the natural, but instead he went to the middle, looked at the red camp. This time he didn't creep it, went across the map.
Yes.
Wasted off time. Don't mean to be too critical, but this definitely looked like a wrong read.
Yeah, definitely suboptimal. A lot of just map movement issues. I think he had the opportunity to both creep the expansion, counter-expand, and then still find a timing to fight. Now he's very strong. He has a Kodo, a Raider, a Wind Rider, plenty of Shamans. If they were to fight right now, FoCuS would most likely win, but now level 3 Alchemist. The expansion is unpushable due to the Ancient War and Ancient Protector. Yeah. And now, will this be close to Shadow 3? That's 2.8. Okay, he'll be able to get it off the green camp, and he's got full mana. FoCuS is looking kind of scary, but he's going to get his lab stolen now as well, I think.
And again, that's all because of the movement. Because he went south, wasted his time, had to fall back, take it slow. That's why this camp now is going to ReMinD. If FoCuS had crept his natural first and then gone to the lab, he would have gotten level 3, could have taken a fight then. Oh, nice little steal there. Blade Master trying to get it. Didn't manage to, though. Big heal potion goes to the Alchemist. Oh, and that would have been a wonderful item for the Blade. And to make it worse, now the Invil's gone as well.
Yeah, and the Blade's half health already, so he can't really fight into this. He's going to need to control it pretty much perfectly to get much value. A lot of Huntresses and now armor upgrades. This is always potential for canceling expansions, killing expansions, also just playing pure hit and run with this amount of Huntresses. So if ever FoCuS goes too aggressive on the map, ReMind's just going to push the main base.
FoCuS would just love to dispel a few more treants, get that level 3 shadow. He doesn't quite have it yet. And now the Night Elf economy is starting to churn. Now he can start to pump out all these units. 2 hunts at a time. Soon archers might be coming in, unless he just wants to go for hit and run. And upgrades, of course. More and more upgrades. He's right next to the shop, all ready to go for scrolls. As he's got one already. Might need more. The one scary thing here is no TP on the Night Elf, so he needs to be wary about that.
Yeah, still a very strong fighting army, despite being down 9, now 6 supply. FoCuS has that Kodo, has soon to be, yeah, he's got level 2 Serpent Wardens now. The expansion going to be canceled, but as you mentioned, no town portal. What's the exit plan?
I guess he's willing to sacrifice a few Huntresses here. 1 lost so far. If FoCuS trades well here and takes out like 15 supply, hardly losing anything, he can still counter-expand and be in a decent position. And indeed, at this point in the game against Serpent Ward's Hunt's not the best unit anymore. This is where archers will take over. One shaman off to the side. This is my moment! I'm here to purge all those little hunts and get more kills for the motherland. And yeah, this was a great trade for FoCuS, but of course the expansion delayed by a ton.
Yeah, it's too bad. Okay, ReMind's going to turn around and try to fight a little bit more. There is no heal scroll, and the Shadowhunter is running out of mana, but it's so tricky, and the micro's been very good from FoCuS. He's kiting back. Now he's saving everything. He can go and heal up, and what units did he even lose? Any? I don't think he lost any. He killed, what, 3, 4, 5 Huntresses? He's even going back for seconds now.
That Huntress, he does not want to let live. Shadow Melt? Oh
my god. Close. That was a lot of damage, actually. You see that?
Didn't quite drink fast enough. She needs to get some lessons from the Muslim. Can learn a thing or two.
All right. Moonwells should be pretty full, pretty hefty. He can go back and heal up that Alchemist, no problem. And ReMind still has the economic advantage, and because of that, he's translating still into a supply advantage. Creepjack might not be the wisest. There's still a full camp here, though, so if ever there's a time to fight at the Fountain, it's going to be right now for ReMind, but it might end up not being the best play. There's still no town portal.
This could be the game-deciding moment right here. Level 4 on the Blade. Is it finally mirror image time, by the way? Yes, it is! But not much HP on the hero. We have a flute picked up by the Shadowhunter. That one wasn't too valuable, but level 4 certainly is. Now we have level 2. Heal wave as well, but the Wisps come in. Everything's drained. No mana anymore. But we have the Fountain still to heal. The Serpent Wards doing the big damage, but we don't have many on the field anymore.
Yeah, the Shadowhunter completely out of mana. The Kodo getting below half health. Not sure if he got a Huntress in his belly or not. And ReMind's going to back away again, losing a ton of Huntresses. Again, I don't think getting any unit kills. He's just feeding Hunts away. And there's no sight of a tier 3 tech, no sight of an Archer transition. His hero focus on the table. Don't think with the Mirror Image, Potion of Vulnerability, and Heal Scroll is going to be any possibility. This is looking like 2-0 for FoCuS.
And ReMind, he's under so much pressure right now. He knows he's stuck on tier 2. He's in a good position. He can't really retreat. If he retreats, he loses. ReMind knows this, and FoCuS now just having to hold, having to survive. If these hunts are cleared up, he should win this game. Expo about to finish for him, just a couple of seconds away. Does he have a shop up there? I don't believe he does, but the shop isn't far away anyway. Shop is coming, tower is standing, and time running in FoCuS's favor. ReMind under the gun. He can't let go. He can't let go of the pressure.
A lot of low units. The shop's not up yet, so the Shadowhunter being out of mana is maybe the only chance here for ReMind. He's got plenty of anti-air in the way of the heroes to deal with that Windrider at last. The supply is even, but a lot of reinforcements yet to arrive for ReMind. The Alchemist uses both of his consumables now, level 4, but no mana for that upgrade. The Windrider goes down. The Shaman's getting low, the Raider getting low, the Heal Spray is nice. So many low units for FoCuS here. Can ReMind clean up? I don't think he can.
That shop though. Once the shop finishes, we're gonna have mana potions, clarities, and the Shadowhunter is ready to carry this game. Hop on my back, boys. I got this. Close to level 5. Jesus Christ, he killed so many hunts. And ReMind, he tried to again be aggressive, finish off the game, and perhaps this was another example of over-aggression, staying purely on Huntresses. With that kind of army, I think he should have been more tactical, run around the map, don't really take a fight, but you know, win the base race game. Seems like he kind of got his, I don't know, game plan mixed up.
Yeah. All right, so vibe check in the game, 58 versus 50. The heroes relatively even, but the Orc heroes scale a whole lot better in this matchup, and very soon we're going to have 5-5. So as long as FoCuS gets some heal scrolls, maybe gets a couple more units, he's going to be in no trouble at all, as though he were already. Oh my god, that's a lot of low units there, ReMinD. I don't know, he's got to get away, but he only loses a Raider.
Everything quite hurt. The Shadowhunter now working overtime, as doctors always do. He's about to get that level 5. Both skills absolutely amazing. It's like you can't even choose. They're both so good. Whether it's level 3 heal wave to heal everything up, or just the Serpent Wards against the Hunt. If the Shadow dies, though, maybe that's the one way that FoCuS loses this game. We saw that before in the first encounter on Northern Isles losing Shadowhunter, but here he does get away. Shadowhunter protected down next to the tower as well. Lots of Wisp flooding in as well for the mana drain. Blade Master on the front line, hacking and slaying away. Has to go for the Invul Potion. Heal Scroll, the last one for ReMinD. His Hunt all still pretty healthy, but now fighting into lots of Serpent Wards and towers. Shadowhunter still in trouble, getting targeted again. Shadowhunter has to TP. He had that earlier already. It was a double-click TP, I believe, so he's flying over towards the main. And suddenly his supply has dropped very, very low indeed.
Wow. That was a sick fight. I think FoCuS maybe a little, I don't want to say overconfident, but not going back. He could have even sacrificed the tower at the Expo, maybe lose the 5th peon. He's got a burrow there. Just go back, heal, get mana, and you're in an excellent position, but he overcommits with so many low units. Now, though, he made a trip to the shop at last, at least by salves. Can he defend the Expo? If the Expo dies, ReMind's going to be in the lead again.
The thing is, ReMinD can also stay here only as long as he has mana on the Alchemist. Once he has no more heal spray, he can't take this fight anymore. And look at the Orc Hero levels, 4.9 and 4.9. This is going to be the double level up. Heal Scroll, Heal Spray, everything to keep the Hunts alive. One more heal wave comes through as well. Still double mana potion on this Shadowhunter, by the way. Should probably pop it to start that cooldown. Shadowhunter tries to go for the kill again. This is the Hail Mary. There's one kill. There's a double level 5. And now it's time for these Orc Heroes to shine.
A lot of Huntresses falling, the Serpent Wards, the Raider, the combination of both is doing so much damage. It seemed like ReMinD had a massive army with those reinforcements at first, but now 56 against 39, but it's really the heroes, the Kodo, the Serpent Wards that are carrying here. The expansion still exposed, but I do believe it's fully mining again, and the Raider can always pick off retreating Huntresses. And again, ReMinD is just not trading favorably.
And now it's all about the mana. He knows he has to take out the Shadowhunter, heal, wave one more time, and Tangle. Not quite enough for the kill. And now no more heal spray. And now is probably when all the Hunts are gonna fall.
Have we even seen a mirror image yet? I'm wondering. I don't think we've seen one mirror image. The Blade hasn't been in too much danger, but interesting. The Kodo gonna fall. 2 Raiders also getting quite low. That's a money acid bomb right there on both Raiders. The Blade Master needs to be careful. Entangle, can he go down? This is the big opportunity for ReMinD. Oh. Can he secure the kill? Almost by the shop. Does get away. That was almost a shot for ReMinD to make it back, but 9 lumber. So many wisps used. 44 supply now.
ReMinD forced the army away, but had to run away from the Serpent Wards. Those little snakes do 50 damage a pop. It is quite tremendous against Huntresses. Against Archers in the late game, they fare a lot worse, which is why normally we see the Archer transition, but ReMinD was just go, go, go. He knew no retreat this game, but now I guess he has no more choice. Again, it's all about the mana, about the healing. Alchemist, no mana at the moment, has to go back to the Moonwells, and this is so many valuable seconds for the Clarities and the heal salves to run on the Orc side.
Yeah, once that Shadowhunter is full mana, and he's already got the double mana potion, it's near impossible, and there's still upgrades to be had for these Orc heroes. Level 6 on the Shadowhunter would be excellent. The Blade Master can always get more Windwalk, even, maybe Bladestorm could find some value in this game. Maybe not when there's no Archers, though, at the fountain to heal up. But what ReMinD really needs is mana on that Alchemist. He's got the staff, but he just has no opportunity to go back home.
I think the Alchemist was, the Keeper was back home, but maybe he doesn't have, I guess he doesn't have a shop. I guess he never invested into a shop, and it's just units pumping out non-stop. The problem is Hunt's great early game and mid game, but they will fall off later, as we have certainly seen here. He's trying to hold on with the heal scrolls and the heal spray, but these Huntresses taking a lot of damage from these Serpent Wards and also not doing too much DPS anymore. Blade Master in the middle of the front line, being quite tanky now as well. Shadowhunter spamming his spells like crazy, and Serpent Ward and Heal Wave so strong, both of them. He's got the mana to sustain it. Still 1 potion left in the tank, and we have a supply lead now for FoCuS. That is never what Niall wants to see, and ReMinD maybe breathing his last seconds here in the global finals.
Alchemist trying to retreat, but he just cannot. There's always a purge. Treant's trying to reinforce. Is there enough Shaman mana? Yeah, there's just enough. More Wisp coming in. The Lumber issue and the Wisp issue has been resolved. Shadowhunter has that Potion of Mana. The Keeper entangles the blade, but there's the mirror image just when he needed it. Potion of Invulnerability passed away from the Alchemist. The heroes are going to get away, but what Huntresses are left? I think 2, 1. There's no units left at all. 45 supplies somehow, but as you said, almost a 20 supply advantage now for FoCuS, and GG is called, and that's 2-0 for FoCuS.